Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this panel discussion on the global financial crisis. As is customary at UWA, we acknowledge that this university is situated on Noongar land, and the Noongar people remain the spiritual and cultural custodians of their land and continue to practice their beliefs, languages, values and knowledge. It really is stating the blindingly obvious to say that we are living in interesting times. This is a period of great upheaval, especially in our economic system. As you all know, the global financial crisis that began in 2008, and some of you might even have come to the seminar that we hastily put on around October 2008 with our panel members, this crisis devastated the global economy and caused incalculable hardship to people around the world. It also shook the very foundations of our existing global economic order. Before the GFC, if I can say, most of us thought that Western economies were being well managed. There were some basic rules to guide fiscal and monetary policy that ensured stability. Deregulation and privatisation were considered the drivers of growth, and the rising tide of globalisation was thought to lift the prosperity of all people. The GFC made many of us stop and question the rules and policies that we had held as constants. But then time passed, we were saturated with media, and what was initially shocking really became the new normal. We expect crisis. Here today, in the second half of 2011, the assumptions underpinning the global economic order have again been brought into question, with the prospects of a double-dip recession in the US, or if you read the papers a couple of days ago, double-dip recession globally, and the sovereign debt crisis in the Eurozone. The global media appear to be mesmerised by the constant bombardment of reports of profit downgrades, rising unemployment, falling house prices and growing public debt. However, contrast this with Commonwealth and state government reports of strong underlying economic fundamentals in the Australian economy. So, through the media fog of doom and gloom, is there a case for optimism for the Australian economy? And that's the question that we put to our three distinguished panellists this evening. So let me start by introducing them. This evening we have Winthrop Professor Ray de Silva Rosa. Ray is the head of accounting and finance at the UWA Business School, and Ray's going to kick off our session this evening with his views on the case for optimism. After Ray, we will hear from Winthrop Professor Ken Clements. Ken is a Professor of Economics here at the UWA Business School. He's also BHP Billiton Research Fellow and Head of the Economics Department. Ken is going to discuss prospects for the Australian dollar. And finally, we will hear from Winthrop Professor Richard Heaney. Richard is a Winthrop Professor of Finance here at the UWA Business School. And Richard is going to speak tonight on a subject that's pretty close, I think, to all of our hearts: how we invest in superannuation. My name is Joanne Snedden. I'm an Assistant Professor of Entrepreneurship here at the Business School, and I'm going to be your MC for the evening, which really is just about policing, making sure we don't run over time. So let's get started. The format for this evening will be 10-minute presentations from each of our panellists on their specific topic, and after that we're going to open the floor for questions. So the main part of the evening is all about you and answering your questions. Okay, so please join me in welcoming our panellists this evening.